Hello and welcome to Somerville Highlander Girls Lacrosse on Somerville Ed TV. I'm Todd Harmon, and today from a rainy Dilboy Stadium, the Highlanders finish their 3 matchups against the Medford Mustangs this regular season. As the Mustangs were able to win the first meeting this season all the way back at the beginning of April, they took that one by the score of 6-4 in the Tufts Classic. And then last week, the Mustangs were able to defeat the Highlanders 9-6. So Highlanders come in 7-3 overall. They are number 2 in the GBL. 45 is their ranking in Division 2. But they are just a couple wins away from earning a playoff spot. The Mustangs already in the playoffs, 10-0 overall on the season, as they have won the opening face-off, as Rebecca Casey brings it into the attacking zone for the Mustangs. Mustangs first place in the GBL, undefeated, 2-game lead over the Highlanders. So a win today for the Highlanders would not get them into the GBL lead as they try to defend their 2-time GBL championships here in Lacrosse. As you see, working around Aaron Alves with the ball, working around the offensive side here in girls lacrosse. It is 12-minute quarters, 4 12-minute quarters as the whistle sounds there. Stoppage in play. And we're going to have a foul called against the Highlanders, as Fiona Rixone will be sent behind Alves. She gets the restart on that. That is an indirect restart from that outer 12-meter arc. That is a situation where you can restart. You cannot shoot directly. Nice pass right onto the interior there. Gets her own rebound and fires that one wide. Jordan Godfrey with that opportunity. Fantastic job in goal by Julia Rathkind as she was able to repel that shot. Great save there by Julia. As Medford back from that X position. The X position is that area right behind the goal. As you will see attacks coming out of that position. Godfrey with it now for the Mustangs as they work deliberately against this zone defense of the Highlanders. Nice pass block there on the interior as Gertisha Morales got a hold of it. And we're going to have a whistle infraction against the Mustangs. A push off there. So the Highlanders will get the restart. Camila Plata, one of the leading scorers for the Highlanders, had 2 goals against this Mustangs team back at the Tufts Classic in early April. She will get it into the attacking zone for the Highlanders. Tied up here early going here from Dilboy as the pass goes to the interior. Turning and shooting was Emma Lounsbury. That was blocked by Riley Allen, the goalkeeper for the Mustangs, but her outlet pass knocked away for a moment by the Highlanders. And Leonor Ramos is going to pick that one up for the Highlanders. Leonor Ramos, the captain for the Highlanders, that's why she has that gold cross. As now we're going to get a restart, I believe, an indirect restart from that outer arc, 12-meter arc. On the indirect restart, you can run with the ball, you can pass the ball off, you can shoot the ball once you have been engaged by a defender. So the Highlanders will get the restart here. Kala Taylor will begin it. As Taylor pulls that back out and gives it back to Plata to the top of the attacking zone. Plata looking for a cutter. Gives it out wide. As Ilya Valdez has it, gets it back to Plata. Plata spinning in, trying to split that double team or triple team as it arrived. Foul's going to be called. That's going to go against Plata with the offensive foul, pushing off as she went through that double team. Possible turnover in the neutral zone, but picked up by Aaron Alves as the Mustangs get it into the attacking zone. Transition very, very important. As the Mustangs able to keep control through that transitional area in the middle of the field. Now they have it in the zone. Caitlin Alves top of the zone with it. She's defended out there by Emma Lounsbury. As Alves looking for the cutter on the interior. That's Godfrey. She turns and shoots. That one goes wide. It's Godfrey trying her 3rd shot of the game. That one wide, but Medford able to get the restart. on an errant shot that goes out of bounds as they get the baseline attack here, trying to get Becky Casey in there. Nice job defensively, but it's going to be an infraction against the Highlanders as Amanda Rodriguez-Sheridan whistled for that one. So the indirect restart here for Becky Casey as she will drive in. The pass there, Lounsbury able to knock it away. Nice job by Emma as she got the cross in there. Now the ground ball is going to be picked up by Amanda Rodriguez-Sheridan as she is down the field with speed in that transitional area. Gets it into the attacking zone as she drops that one off to Ava Davis, who turns inside. Davis driving inside, loses it out of the cross. Riley Allen able to pick that one up in the crease. As the pass goes out, errant pass. On an errant pass, the last team to touch it loses the possession. It goes over to Somerville in this case. On an errant shot, the team with the player closest to it where it goes out of balance ends up getting the possession. That's how Medford maintained that possession after the shot by Godfrey. As Leonor Ramos driving in against Godfrey, she splits the defenders and a whistle's going to sound. As Ramos uses her speed there, she might get an opportunity. The restart here from the inner arc. That's that 8-meter arc. Now she can drive directly in. She can shoot, she can pass, she can do whatever she would like to do upon the restart. Two defenders have to be 4 meters away from her as Ramos gets checked illegally there. Godfrey will be sent away as she will get in behind Ramos after the illegal check there. So Ramos gets another opportunity at it here from the 8-meter. Riley Allen in goal. And the bouncer goes wide. Out of bounds. Last to touch it was Rowan Buckley, but the Highlanders will maintain the possession. As Buckley now coming out of X. Gives that off to Ramos. So now Ramos will run the point from the top of that attacking zone. Gives it off to Ilya Valdez as Ilya loses it from the cross for a moment. Able to regain, but her pass a little bit errant, but picked up by Plata. Now Plata tries to drive in, pulls it back out, finds Lounsbury. Emma spins, fires that one, blocked by Allen once again as it bounces out of the crease. Medford will get the restart. It's Highlanders last to touch it. 5:10 remaining here in the first quarter. Scoreless here from Dilboy as the Mustangs trying to get out of their defensive end. Mia Leal carrying it out. Checked from behind by Ava Davis as Ramos trying to pick up the ground ball. It's going to be taken away there by Tatum Boudreau. Now Boudreau into the attacking zone for the Mustangs. So Highlanders will set their defense. Pass goes all the way back out. Casey trying to clean that up. Opportunity here for Kala Taylor. Taylor cannot go past that 30-yard line. That's the beginning of the offensive zone. Once you've obtained that offensive zone, only the defensive and midfield players can be in that in the defensive zone itself. If Medford loses the ball back to the 50-yard line, they will lose the possession. Is on the far side now, ball controlled. Nice steal there as Ramos comes away with it. Feeds it up to Valdez. Good pass there, looking for Plata through the transitional area. Now Kala Taylor will pick that one up. It's Taylor. Triple teamed in that zone. And Medford will steal that one away as Ava Lavoie comes up to knock away the pass. You see how difficult and how important transition is here in Lacrosse. So the Highlanders unable to get that transition into the offensive zone. Now the Mustangs look to get into the offensive zone. Becky Casey will get into there, obtaining that 30-yard line. And they will set their offense as Caitlin Alves has it. Gives it off over to number 8. That would be Erin Alves. Now out wide to the far side. Sienna Fossey with it. So get back to the top, Gia Rousseau. And Caitlin Alves as the Highlanders staying in a zone defense. Kind of a bubble zone there. You'll see the Cutters trying to get into the interior. You see Becky Casey right there breaking into the interior. Well defended by Fiona Rixone. Alves looking for a cutter. Casey trying to cut in. Looks like she could be setting a pick there as well. Casey circles back looking for the pass, blocked by the Highlander defense. Alves able to pick it back up. Alves will send it back in behind the netting. Handled there by Aaron Alves. She's defended by Rixone. Aaron Alves looking to get in past Rodriguez Sheridan. We have a flag on the play. Highlanders are going to get called for the check there, as I believe Rodriguez Sheridan will get whistled for that. So now from that 8-meter restart, Alves has the opportunity. Julia Raffkind in the goal for the Highlanders. Rixone and Lounsbury, if they can get there quickly enough, can check that cross. As you see, Lounsbury or Rixone try to do that. Great job by Raffkind, as Julia got that big cross down there, able to block that shot. Now Regan Antonelli has it out wide on the far side, trying to speed through that transitional zone, gets it to Plata at the football midfield. It's Plata defended there, gives it back to Antonelli. Nice job by the Highlanders keeping players back, able to help out on transition. Nice pass ahead to Plata. She breaks into the offensive zone. Turned away there by Ava Lavoie. Highlanders will set their offense. Plata and Antonelli have been the goal scorers for this team. As the pass looking wide to Kala Taylor, but could not connect up. Out of bounds. The Mustangs will get it on the turnover. Still scoreless here. Only 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. As the two powerhouses of the GBL, the Mustangs leading the GBL currently, the Highlanders, the two-time GBL champions, battling here at Dilboy as Casey will get it in the transitional area. Feeds that one off to Fossey. Fossey breaking into the offensive zone with speed. Nice job by the Highlanders back defensively, setting up a wall right there, the outside of the critical scoring zone. The pass looking for the cutter there as Aaron Alves was cutting in. Nice job defensively by the Highlanders, and Antonelli winds up with the ground ball. She will break out of the defensive zone with it. Looks forward to Plata. Plata looking to control, but it gets out of bounds. She wasn't quite able to field that pass forward by Antonelli. Less than 10 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, as Medford will get the restart, but they can't do anything with it before time expires. That'll do it. As at the end of the first quarter of play, we are scoreless from Dilboy Stadium as the Mustangs and the Highlanders, the two powerhouses in the GBL, two teams heading to the playoffs this year, likely from the GBL, facing off here at Dilboy. We're going to keep it right here for a moment here in between quarters, because I want to talk very quickly and thank everybody out there, all the button mashers out there, all the subscribers. We have reached that 3,000 goal. Thank you so incredibly much. We talked about it back in the fall. We wanted it by the spring, and here it is. Even though it's a rainy day, doesn't really look like the spring. It is the spring, and we've got over 3,000 subscribers. Thank you so very, very much out there. We really do appreciate it here at Somerville Ed TV. And of course, what do you get as a subscriber to Somerville Ed TV? Well, you get Highlander Athletics. Here in the spring, you get to come here to Dilboy Stadium, see the GBL champion girls lacrosse team looking to defend that championship, see the boys lacrosse team battling their way, looking for a playoff spot. They have 4 wins right now. They've got to get some work done here in the second half of the season to get into the playoffs this year for the boys. Over on the diamond, we've got Highlander softball, Highlander baseball action as well. Rebuilding years right now for softball as well as baseball, but lots of young talent out there on the diamond. You can check it out here on Somerville Ed TV. And don't forget, the now 15th ranked in Division II Highlander volleyball team, coming off a big victory over Lynn English. They have a huge game coming up against Cambridge. Cambridge currently ranked number 6 in Division I, number 9 in the Globe Top 20. They will be in Broomfield House on Tuesday, the 13th of May, At 4:15, they will be battling the Highlanders, or 5:15, I should say. They will be battling the Highlanders. Please come out to Bruin Fieldhouse. But if you cannot get it out to Bruin Fieldhouse, make sure you check it out here on Somerville Ed TV. Mash those buttons for us. Like, share, subscribe. We so much appreciate it, and thank you very much.
That's what he was telling me about, yeah.
As we are about to get back into second quarter action here, scoreless from Dilboy Stadium. Mustangs and Highlanders, both teams beneficiaries of penalty shots from the 8-meter arc. Both goalies doing an excellent job today so far. Riley Allen for the Mustangs, Julia Rathkind turning those shots away for the Highlanders. As it will be Lounsbury and Casey in the face-off circle. Teams switch sides for this second quarter of action. Scoreless here at Dilboy as the Mustangs looking to solidify their hold on the lead in the GBL. Highlanders with a win today can make it a 1-game lead for the Mustangs as Casey comes away with that face-off. She will get into the offensive zone for the Mustangs. She gives it off to Caitlin Alves and Erin Alves. And the Alves sisters working it at the top of the zone. Highlanders with that layered defense. You've got that first layer of zone right there at the outer portion of the critical scoring area. And then you see them working underneath. Gertisha Morales doing a great job underneath. As the cutter is Alves, she goes to the interior. She's defended well there as Rodriguez Sheridan was able to get the cross in the way, but perhaps a violation there. So from the very top of the 8-meter arc, the opportunity here for Alves. As Rathkind sets herself. Driving in is Alves. There's Rathkind as she stops it with a big cross. But the Mustangs are able to get the rebound and fire it into the back of the net. I think Alves was able to get her cross onto it. And Erin Alves will get credit for that goal. She's able to get it past Julia Rathkind. The Mustangs lead this one 1-0 with 10:47 remaining in the first half. Two teams have battled throughout this season 2 times already. Mustangs winning by 2 goals in the first meeting, 3 goals in the second. Lounsbury and Casey in the draw circle. As Buckley trying to chase this one down, but Alves able to undercut her and get the ground ball there. So the Mustangs get another possession here. Shows the importance of that
Medford
draw.
Number 8, Erin Alves.
Godfrey has it now for the Mustangs. They set up their offensive attack. Alves has it at the very top. Defended out there by Plata. Now Caitlin with it. Looks for the cutter, trying to get Sienna Fossey there. Instead, it gets away from her. Cleaned up by Lily Morris, though. Morris will send it back out. And now Erin Alves with it. Works it to Godfrey. See the work being done by Fiona Rickzone down there to the far side of the net, as well as Gertisha Morales the near side, dealing with those cutters coming in. There's a cutter, Becky Casey, as she got in there. Great job by Rathkind, as she just stoned her right on the doorstep. Transition attempt by Rathkind. Violation called against the Highlanders there, pushing off. So Medford will get the ball back. It's Caitlin Alves with it now. Feeds it out to Becky Casey on the far side. Casey Gets it to Morris coming out from X. Nice job defensively there. As Catherine Timmons was able to get in the way. Really nice job keeping that attack at bay. The cutter inside though, watch out. There's Sienna Fossey. Quick cross as Fossey able to put that pass in behind Julia Rathkind. It's a 2-goal lead now for the Mustangs. As the Highlanders not having a possession yet here in the second quarter. Over 3 minutes elapsed in this quarter. The Mustangs.
Fossey.
Highlanders, no possessions yet. Regan Antonelli into the face-off circle for the Highlanders against Becky Casey. And procedure is going to be called against Antonelli as she pulled before the whistle. So the Mustangs get the possession. As Fossey brings it into the attacking zone. Over to Alves here on the near side. And they'll go back up top to Aaron Alves. 8:20 remaining here in the half. Highlanders trailing 2-0. Battle of GBL lacrosse powers. Both teams on the way to the playoffs if their records and play hold. Medford already qualified at 10-0. Highlanders 7-3, looking for a couple more victories to get them into the playoffs. As Alves breaking in, and she's going to be fouled. So Alves will get the restart once again, top of that 8-meter arc. Dangerous follow through was the call on the check. So Alves drives in, fires that one. Great job by Rathkind as she kicks it down. Keeps it inside the crease and is able to hold it. Julia Rathkind having an excellent game so far for the Highlanders. As the Highlanders look to turn things into some offense here, Antonelli through that transitional area in the middle of the field. She's got Ava Davis out in front of her, breaking to her right. As she looks to get into that zone, she'll run it back into the X position. Dropping it off to Buckley, and now to Davis. Ava Davis, one of the offensive stalwarts for this team as well. Real crease monster there. Plays powerfully down around that crease area. Looking for the pass, looking for Plata. Nice job by Becky Casey as she was able to get the cross on it and steal it away. Fossey gets the outlet, and she will send it into the neutral zone as Alves is through with speed. The Mustangs will set up their attack with 6.5 minutes remaining here in the first half, leading by 2. Godfrey has it now. Godfrey probing there. Trying to collapse that defense, maybe get a cutter open. Alves now looking to the cutting Becky Casey. As Casey cut in her shot up high over the net. Lily Morris in position, back of that X position. So Highlanders do not get the possession. Mustangs will maintain. Brings it out here wide to Fossey. It's Fossey on the near side, defended by Timmons. Gets it out to Alves. Little check there from Fossey, and then she'll roll off of that check. A little pick and roll action there, but Fossey unable to get control of the ball in her cross, and the Highlanders will end up getting the possession on the infraction by the Mustangs. So Plata now through that neutral zone, 5 minutes remaining in the half. Highlanders down by 2, need to find the back of the net here as Plata just driving in, and she will put that one into the back of the net. Wait a second, we'll see. I believe it is a goal. Yes, it is. did not see the two hands go up directly, but I did see the after effects of the signal from the goalie, so Plata, or from the official. So Plata gets her first goal of the contest. Highlanders.
Solo goal number 9, Camila Plata.
Highlanders have cut the Mustang lead in half, 2-1, under 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. As it's Casey and Antonelli in the face-off circle. These draws are so important. You can get right back into a game trailing by 2 goals. Highlanders, if they can get the possession, but unable to there. Casey, very, very good at keeping control of that toss and able to get her cross upon it more quickly. She gives it up to Alves. Aaron Alves with it now. 4:40 remaining in the half. Medford with the possession and the lead, 2-1. It's Fossey off the screen from Casey. We saw just straight cutters earlier from Medford. Now we're seeing a little bit of screening going on as Aaron Alves, what a shot there, but Rathkind with the cross, able to knock that one away. As Aaron Alves with a little underhanded number, but Julia Rathkind said, no ma'am. As the Highlanders dealing with this heavy transition defense, Rathkind trying to get it out to Antonelli, but it's going to get out of bounds. Godfrey was there defensively, really mucking things up for the Highlanders. So Medford gets the possession back. Caitlin Alves with it now. Gives it up top to Aaron. Now Becky Casey out wide to the right. Looking for that right wing run, but knocked away by Rodriguez Sheridan. Nice job by Amanda. She's trying to get the ground ball, but Casey able to wind up with it. So give it back to Fossey. Now Alves sees the cutting Casey. Keeps it herself. Antonelli on the defensive assignment in the left wing. 2:50 remaining in the half. Medford being very methodical with their offense as Casey will take it along the near goal line and head through X. Cutter Alves coming from the top of the offensive zone. Tries to fire that one. Another save there by Rathkind, because I believe she kicked that one aside with her left leg. Alves very, very good. Aaron Alves, number 8 right there. Very good with the quick cross. Able to redirect those passes very, very quickly. She and Fossey very, very good at that. Caitlin Alves has it now. Plata on her defensively. 2 minutes remaining in the half. Medford with the 2-1 lead. Fossey has it now. She gets turned aside on that run attempt. Gets it inside. Shot fired by Tatum Boudreau goes wide to the far side of the goal. Medford keeping the possession. As both Morris and Casey back there at the X. Casey will restart. As Ramos knocks that ball away, they try to golf it towards the net. It goes across the goal face and out of bounds. See if that's considered a shot, and it is. Medford closest as Lily Morris was back there at X. Now Morris hits the cutting Fossey as the Highlander defense lost number 10 on that play. And Sienna Fossey says, thank you very much. I'll put this one into the back of the net. She gets her second goal of the contest. Minute 5 remains in the first half. Highlanders now down by 2 again.
Medford goal number 10, Sienna Fossey.
1 minute, 5 seconds remaining here in the half. Opportunity for Medford to get one more possession, as Becky Casey has been excellent in the draw circle for the Mustangs. Antonelli in there for the Highlanders. As that ball bouncing around, opportunity here for the Highlanders to get a hold of it, but Fossey comes away with it. So the Mustangs one more possession here with less than a minute remaining in the half, looking to make it a 3-goal lead as they lead by 2. Cutting right in the middle is Boudreau. Alves passes that one up. Now Alves driving it. Defense collapses down on her very efficiently, but she was able to keep control of that ball in her cross. Such an important thing to be able to do as Godfrey gets it. Passes it out to Casey. Casey driving in, tries the shot, and that's in for the goal. As Rathkind unable to stop that one. Casey with the sidearm shot. And she gets her first goal of the game. 4-1 now the Medford lead. 17.6 seconds remaining. As Casey can get another possession here for the Mustangs. And maybe get a quick shot off. Antonelli and Casey as Alves comes away with it. Great job there. I don't know, Casey's so very good at directing that draw. 10 seconds remaining. Alves drives into the critical scoring area. Keeps it somehow in the cross as the defense meets her and checks her. Whips that sidearm shot. It goes wide of the net to the far side, and that will do it for the first half of play here, as the GBO leading Mustangs lead this one by the score of 4-1. We will be back for second half action here from Dilboy Stadium on Somerville Ed TV. We are back at Dilboy Stadium here on Somerville Ed TV. Second half action, Mustangs versus the Highlanders in girls lacrosse, as the GBO leading Mustangs lead this game by the score of 4-1. 2 goals in the game by Sienna Fossey. Erin Alves with 1 goal and Becky Casey with a goal for the Mustangs, as the Mustangs come away with the draw win once again. Highlanders have only been able to win 1 draw so far this game. That difference in possessions can certainly account for that 3-goal differential. As Julia Rathkind has been excellent in the goal. She has made some tremendous saves, but the volume of possessions just too much, as the Highlanders trail by 3. Alves has it, feeds it here to Fossey. See how the Highlanders want to maybe make some adjustments here against this Medford offense. They've had success with getting cutters underneath, running off of a pick and roll. You saw Fossey breaking there, as I believe Timmons is going to get whistled for the infraction. So Godfrey will have the opportunity. Godfrey, one of the better shooters on this team, along with Alves, gets that opportunity from the 8-meter mark. She will come in, fires that one, and Rathkind unable to stop it, as that gets right into the back of the net. Jordan Godfrey 2 steps and fires off the laser. 5-1 now the Medford lead.
Medford goal, number 19, Jordan Godfrey.
And now you can see how these possessions just add up. Highlanders struggling in that draw circle, as Becky Casey has been absolutely tremendous winning these possessions for the Mustangs. Get the ball into the crosses there, and then a toss by the 2 players, and that time Antonelli able to come away with it. Nice job by Regan, but her pass down looking for Camilla Plata, gets by Plata, and it's going to be picked up off the ground by Ava Lavoie. So The Highlanders win the draw, but then turn it over. But the Mustangs turn it over as well. They can't get it out of the defensive end. Rowan Buckley with it now. Turns, fires, shoots that one. Goes wide of the net as it bounced across the goal mount. Ava Davis with it now. Finds right in front of the net Kala Taylor, and she puts it into the back of the net for the Highlanders. Beautiful pass there by Ava Davis as Kala Taylor, right outside the crease, was able to catch that ball in the cross and fire it back in behind Riley Allen. Highlanders now trail once again by 3, 5-2 your score. Highlanders can get right back into this if Antonelli has found something in that draw circle against Casey. Antonelli and Casey once again in the draw circle. Casey so quick with that cross, just whips that ball right out of midair. So Medford with another possession here as Fosse will get it.
To number 26, Ava Davis.
It's Fosse now brings it to the top of the offensive zone. Alves out on the left wing. 10 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. 5-2. The Medford lead. Caitlin Alves with it now. Goes to Casey here on the near side. As Morris cutting through. You see the multiple cutters going right through the zone, the central area of the zone, as Rousseau cuts through from the left-hand wing. Casey now double teamed by Plata and Morellis, and the whistle's going to sound as Plata and Morellis looked for all the world like they were holding up strongly against Casey there, but Casey breaking through, and the infraction will be called against Gertisha. So Casey will have the opportunity here from the 8-meter. Rathkind has done an excellent job on these. As Casey drives in, tries it off the top. That's postmarked return to sender as the crossbar got the best of it. Rousseau was able to save it for the Mustangs, and now Godfrey has it on the right wing. Now Fosse as Rousseau at the top of the attacking zone with it. Medford will send those multiple cutters through as Alves comes through from the left wing. Morris from the right. Fosse back over to Casey. Very methodical with their offense, trying to find the right shot. Rousseau cuts in from the right. Now secondary cutters Fosse. And they get it to Godfrey right in the middle, defended well. I think Plata was able to knock that one away. But Fosse able to chase it down out on the wide left wing. Now she's breaking in. Fosse gets by Plata. She fires that one. Rathkind kick save with the right leg. But there's Alves picking it up. She gets it over to Casey. Casey breaking in. Defended quickly. Right in front of the net, though, is Godfrey. As she puts that one home. Godfrey snuck in. Casey able to find her, picking up the assist. Godfrey gets her second goal of the game. Highlanders did a nice job stopping the initial attack of Casey. But then Godfrey was able to sneak in right in front of the crease and gets it by Rathkind. 6-2 now your score.
With the assist to number 21, Becky Casey.
See the patience of the Mustangs on the offensive side. Casey and Antonelli once again draw a circle. Highlanders need to win some of these in order to get back in this game, trailing by 4, 6-2. As this one comes off towards Lounsbury, she'll pick it up for the Highlanders. Alves tried to check it away, but Lounsbury secured it well. She's into the attacking zone. Emma's going to drive right down the alleyway. Fires that one, and what a save there by Riley Allen, as Allen did a great job there, but then the transition out of the defensive end doesn't work out as Leonor Ramos steals it away. Plata now driving in. She gets pushed to the right wing area, gives it up to Davis. It's Davis out of the X position. Feeds it back out to Plata. Plata finds the cutting Antonelli, but stolen away by Alves. As Erin Alves just stole that right out of the air with her cross. And now in transition are the Mustangs. Great job there by Erin Alves, number 8. As some freshmen on this Medford squad playing tremendously, Fossey as well as Alves. Fossey now has it. Over to Becky Casey. Casey driving in. Gets by Ramos. Left-handed shot. Saved there by Rathkind. Bouncing around outside the crease. Got a little bit of a late season Easter egg hunt here. Highlanders will come away with it as Leonor Ramos has it in the gold cross. Fossey chasing her down from behind. Ramos showing the speed through that neutral area. As she gets it out to Kala Taylor, they will get into the attacking zone. It's Taylor on the right wing. Highlanders trailing by 4, looking to dent this lead by the Mustangs. Kala loses it for a moment out of the cross, able to pick it back up. Defended tight by Maya Leal. Driving inside now is Lounsbury. She gets around from X. Out here to the left side, gives it up to Ava Davis. Davis cutting in from the X position, kicks it back out to Antonelli. Antonelli looking for the cutting Lounsbury, but knocked away as Buckley chases it down here near side for the Highlanders. Whistle on the play. The flag was out. I do not see the signal. We'll see the outcome, though, as Davis was the one who was fouled. She will get the shot from the 8-meter as she will restart there. Driving in. She's got Lavoie to her left, Alves to her right. As Davis drives in, loses it out of the back of the cross, though. She tries to pick it up, but Alves is right there as well as Alves goes down to the turf. The whistle sounds. And Medford will get it on the restart. As Alves avoiding the check from Davis. Buckley trying to slow her down. Cannot physically impede, can't physically check the player. You can check their cross. So Alves into the attacking zone here, gives it off to Caitlin Alves. Up to the top of the attacking zone, Fossey. 4:05 remaining in the third quarter. Highlanders down by 4, 6-2 is the Medford lead as they work methodically with the offense. Fossey, defended by Ramos, pulls it back out. Now cutting in is Caitlin Alves. She will pull that one back as Antonelli was there defensively. Now Ramos checks it right out of the cross. Plata there ready to pick it up. Nice job defensively by the Highlanders as Plata with speed, able to get by Fossey into the attacking zone. She loves to drive down the alley and fire the shot. She thought about spinning it to the backhand, and she does come around to the backhand side. Now gives that one off to Lounsbury as Lounsbury spinning in the interior and bounces it by Riley Allen. As Emma Lounsbury gets the pass from Camila Plata. And Lounsbury finishes it off, bouncing it right by Riley Allen. Highlanders have cut it to a 3-goal lead. Once again, 6-3, the Medford lead with 3:20 remaining in the third quarter.
Somerville goal number 10, Emma Lounsbury, with the assist to number 9, Camila Plata.
Now back to the draw circle, 21 versus 21. Becky Casey and Regan Antonelli. Casey and Antonelli battled on the basketball court as well earlier this year. Highlanders, of course, coming away with the GBL championship. Regan Antonelli, one of the freshmen on that team, helped lead them to that championship. Plata comes away with that draw victory. So the Highlanders, another possession here, look to cut it to a 2-goal lead as Plata into that critical scoring zone had Lounsbury for a moment, but she was defended by Alves. So now Plata looking for a cutter. Gives it back out to Ramos. As Leonor Ramos off the screen from Lounsbury. Around the right wing. Feeds it back to Davis at X. As Davis looking to challenge Galuzzo there. As she bodies against Galuzzo, spins, fires. That one's blocked away. Nice job defensively by the Mustangs. Russo trying to pick up the ground ball, and she will. But loses it then out of the cross. As Davis goes down to the turf, she's going to get called for the push-off as well. So the Mustangs will get the restart, 2:25 remaining, but Davis just takes it right away. As Ava Davis now into the attacking zone for the Highlanders. She is just driving right in against Galuzzo. She will head on back to X, spinning around behind the net. Looks to pass it off to Antonelli, who's got to pick that up, and she does as Casey is right there on her. 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Highlanders looking to cut it to a 2-goal lead for the Mustangs. It's Antonelli off the screen from Ramos. She's got an alleyway. She drives in, fires that one, and goes wide of the net. As Rowan Buckley back at X was able to keep the possession for the Highlanders. She starts quickly with it, trying to get out from X, fires the shot. It goes behind the net. Ava Davis back there to pick it up. Minute 35 remaining. Davis against Galuzzo. Davis feeds it out to Plata, but it gets by her. She needs to get there quickly before it gets to the 30 where the midfielders can get involved. And Plata able to keep the possession there, keeping Sophia Ismail away. So now Plata driving in. Double team comes to meet her. And that checked out of her cross by Casey. As Galuzzo will pick it up, but the whistle sounded. And on the indirect restart from the 12-meter, the restart here for the Highlanders as Plata feeds it to Antonelli. Antonelli tries to scoop that one into the net, but it goes up and over. Buckley keeps the possession. As Buckley feeding Antonelli in front of the net, she redirects it, but it's stopped by Riley Allen. Ball on the ground. Riley Allen knocks it away for a moment. Lounsbury ends up with it. Shot turned away by Allen. And she did a great job there on Lounsbury's shot to get the stop. 33 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and Caitlin Alves, into the attacking zone for the Mustangs. She will feed it off to Casey. 23 ticks remaining here in the third quarter. Medford looking to build on this lead of 6-3. It's Casey driving in from the right goal line. Extended there. Whistle will sound as Rick Zone will be put behind. She is who is charged with the foul. Casey will get the restart from the 8-meter. As it looks like the Highlanders may be down a player here, as Rickson will be sent off. Nope, actually I believe she's just got a little bloody knee there that they will address. So Lounsbury will come from the midfield area into the defense. Well, that gets addressed on Rickson. Casey shot blocked there. Nice job. I think Antonelli may have gotten the cross on it. Rodriguez Sheridan also in the area, and the Highlanders will get the possession there. And that will do it as Timmons had it in the cross to end the quarter. Highlanders able to get a few goals in. Emma Lounsbury and Kala Taylor scoring for the Highlanders, but it's still a 3-goal lead for the Mustangs. They lead 6-3 as we will be back for fourth quarter action from Dilboy Stadium on Somerville NTV. Back at Dilboy Stadium here on Somerville NTV. Highlanders versus the Mustangs as Medford leads this one by the score of 6-3. We move to the fourth quarter. 12 minutes remaining in this battle between GBL girls lacrosse powers. It's the Highlanders, 2 times GBL champions, reigning champions, but the Mustangs currently in first place in the GBL. As on the draw, we're going to have a restart, redraw. Becky Casey has been tremendous in the draw circle for the Mustangs. Highlanders were able to win some draws there in the third quarter, accounting for their tightening up this game a bit as Antonelli comes away with the draw victory for the Highlanders. So they have the opportunity to make it a 2-goal game. Antonelli trying to get Plata in the middle there. Aaron Alves very fast with her cross, was able to knock it down. As Antonelli able to come away with it though. She forced a jump ball and got it into her cross using her height. Now Buckley feeds Davis. Davis loves to come out of the X position. Gives it off to Ramos. Leonor Ramos driving in. Becky Casey's going to get whistled for the illegal body contact. So Ramos, captain for the Highlanders, with the opportunity from the 8-meter restart. As Ramos goes in, fires that one into the back of the net. As Leonor Ramos gets the goal for the Highlanders, it is a 6-4 game. As the Mustangs lead by 2, 11:07 remaining in the game. As the Highlanders tighten the matter up.
Goal number 11, Lenore Ramos.
Leonor Ramos with the goal for the Highlanders. Love seeing her find the back of the net. As we've watched this Highlander team, their offense diversify throughout this season. As now you have Alves in the face-off circle against Antonelli. Alves now taking this draw. As that one up high into the air. Plata comes away with it. Highlanders get another possession, trailing by 2 goals. So Plata now gets it checked away, but the foul will be called against Alves. So the Highlanders will keep the possession as Plata picks it up and gets the restart. She will drive in, feeds it off. Elia Valdez now from the right wing gives it back to Davis. Zava Davis with Galuzzo on her. Feeds it to Antonelli on the right wing. So Highlanders back it back out here from the right wing. Davis loses her footing. Wet turf out there. As it's been raining today, Galuzzo's going to be whistled for the illegal use of the cross. So the restart goes to Davis. As Davis goes in. Tries to just give that one to Rowan Buckley on the other side of the crease. But a nice job by Riley Allen, as she was able to get that big net out there and steal that pass. Now Godfrey with speed. She obtains the attacking zone for the Mustangs. Highlander defense needs to stand strong here. Try to keep this a 2-goal game. 6-4, current score. That was the final score between these two teams earlier this season in the Tufts Classic over at Tufts University, the first ever girls lacrosse Tufts Classic. As Medford came away with that victory earlier in the year. Becky Casey with Amanda Rodriguez-Sheridan defending her. Now Ramos on the double team. Casey unable to get that shot directed towards the net as it went too high. Plata came late defensively and was able to force that shot to go errantly. Lily Morris back at X, so Medford will have the possession. Fossey will get the restart, but she's got to restart from where it went out of bounds. And she does. As Timmons meets her quickly. Fossey spins away from Rodriguez-Sheridan, drives in, fires that one and goes across the goal mouth all the way out, but Aaron Alves closest to it for the Mustangs. They keep the possession. Mustangs looking to extend this lead back to 3 goals. Highlanders off the goal by Leonor Ramos have cut it to 2. Fossey bodied there by Antonelli. And the pass to the cutter. Casey goes errantly as Fiona Rickzone chasing this one down out wide, and she comes away with it. Now Rickzone looking for help, feeding it to Ramos, but Ramos unable to control it, and Fossey will take it away. Now they get it back to Alves. So Highlanders with a critical turnover there. back into the Medford cross. So they feed it down to Becky Casey. That one's going to get by Casey. Out of bounds. Turnover will go over to the Highlanders. See if the Highlanders are able to get this out of their defensive zone as Rick Sohn gives it off to Timmons. Now Timmons, Alves arriving slightly late. Timmons using her speed as she's quick through that neutral zone. Nice job by Catherine trying to feed Leona Ramos, but it gets away as Fossey did a nice job getting the cross on it there. Now back the other direction. Ava Lavoie will obtain the attacking zone for the Mustangs. As Lavoie now from X. She's defended by Timmons. The pass there. Timmons, nice job checking that away and able to control the pass. She was going to chase it down, but the whistle sounded. As we have a timeout on the field, I believe it will be Highlanders ball when we return. 7:03 remaining here in the game. Highlanders trail by 2. We'll be back after this timeout here on Somerville Ed TV. Back at Dilboy Stadium, 7:03 remaining in the game. Highlanders trail the Mustangs 6-4. Highlanders will have the ball on the restart as Catherine Timmons will have it at the football 30-yard line. She will work her way through those check attempts as Alves and Godfrey both met her there. Timmons into the attacking zone, gives it off to Lounsbury as Emma cuts in, will pull that one back out. Highlanders down by 2. They've trailed this whole game. They look to cut this back to a 1-goal lead for the Mustangs. Mustangs leading the GBL. Highlanders, the 2-time reigning champs of the GBL. A new look Highlanders team. No more Holly Schmidt. As the pass to Ramos knocked away, Mustangs come away with it. As Godfrey spins away from Rowan Buckley and gets into the attacking zone, feeds it out to Alves. Aaron Alves, so tremendous. Young freshman here for the Mustangs. She and number 10, Fossey, both with 2 goals in this game. Or I'm sorry, Alves with only 1 goal. Jordan Godfrey has the 2 goals along with Fossey. Becky Casey gets it out wide on the right-hand side. Highlanders defense has been good today. Julia Raffkind, tremendous in between the pipes for the Highlanders. And she has stoned some point-blank shots. Casey will get the cross to the face there. Card is going to be issued to Rodriguez Sheridan for the dangerous play, and she will have to take a seat. So the Highlanders will be down a defender here, and one of their better defenders in Rodriguez Sheridan. 5:34 remaining. Medford looking to build their lead back up. They led by as much as 4 in this game. It's currently a 2-goal lead, 6-4. It's Medford looking to put a stranglehold on the GBL championship with a victory today. This would put them 3 games ahead of the Highlanders in the GBL standings. It's Casey with the restart here. Highlanders now down a defender. So you'll have to pack that defense in closely. Cutters will run a bit more freely as Casey finds Godfrey. Godfrey spins. There's Raffkind as Julia turns that one aside. Raffkind has kept the Highlanders in this game. And she has been tremendous between the pipes. Now Fossey tries to get by Plata. Nice job defensively there by Camilla. And she will tumble to the turf trying to get to the ground ball. Stoppage in play. Highlanders will get the restart as Plata did a great job defensively there on Fossey. So Plata will bring this out of the defensive end. She's got such speed. in the open field. You can see the Mustangs unable to keep up with Camilla. We've seen it on the turf in soccer season in the fall. We see it here in lacrosse as well. As Antonelli has it wide on the left wing, gives it back to Plata. It's Plata trying to feed it down to Valdez. Whistle sounds as we're going to get an infraction against the Highlanders. I think Ramos was called for that one. Whistle sounding again as Rodriguez Sheridan still off in the penalty box for the Highlanders. So when Medford if they are able to get into the attacking zone, they will still be up the player. As Mia Leal gets it checked out of her cross, but infraction called against the Highlanders once again. Now Leal feeds it here to Godfrey. As Godfrey gets away from Buckley, breaks into the offensive zone. 3.5 minutes remaining in the game. Medford up by 2. Highlanders need to get the ball away as they are back at even strength. Rodriguez Sheridan back out onto the field. Ball is out wide now with Fossey, or Godfrey, I should say. Back up to the top, Aaron Alves. Defended out there by Antonelli. She tries to check that cross of Alves. Very methodical here for Medford with a 2-goal lead, 2:45 remaining in the game. As Antonelli trying to get things happening here, Alves is going to earn the infraction against Antonelli, so the restart for Alves. She drives in, pushed off to the side by Morellis. Again, the Highlanders have to go after the player with the ball. Alves so good at keeping the ball in her cross, controlling the ball, as Antonelli trying to force her along that boundary line. Now Alves comes out from X and sidearms it by for the goal as she picks up her second goal of the game. Highlander defense fell a little bit asleep there, as Alves was able to speed away from the immediate defense of Morellis and Antonelli. And the sidearm shot was able to get by Rathkind. 2:13 remaining here in the game. 7-4 is your Medford lead. Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. We'll be back for the conclusion of this game on Somerville Ed TV. Back at Dilboy Stadium here on Somerville Ed TV. Conclusion of this game between the Mustangs and the Highlanders. Highlanders trail by 3, 7-4, 2:13 remaining, as Aaron Alves was able to run time off the clock for Medford and then break through the Highlander defense from the X position and sidearm it past Julia Rathkind. As Antonelli wins this one against Casey, the Highlanders have figured out the mystery that is Becky Casey in the draw circle, but it appears it might be a little late as Medford dominated the draw circle in the first half. Highlanders were only able to win one draw, and Medford was able to build a lead that they have not relinquished. Highlanders have cut it to a 2-goal lead just before that Alves goal, as they look to do that yet again. As Rowan Buckley will get the restart from the 8-meter. Tough angle for Buckley. And she'll have to come in far on the left wing. Gets it by! And great shot there by Rowan Buckley as she puts it right by Riley Allen. Fantastic work as she was able to body in front of Mia Leal, I should say, coming in from that left wing. Tough angle, and Rowan Buckley was able to cut it to 2. Minute 45 remaining, as Antonelli has done a good job in the face-off circle for the Highlanders, solving the mystery that is Becky Casey. Casey dominated that draw circle in the first half. Minute 45 remains. Highlanders need to win this draw. As Antonelli feeds it back, Plata able to take it. Highlanders win the draw. Block there as Fossey's able to knock that ball away. And Plata fighting for the ground ball And the infraction going to be called against Caitlin Alves for the Mustangs. Highlanders get the restart. Plata quickly into the attacking zone. Minute 25 remaining. As Plata loves to drive down the alleyway. Defended out there by Ava Lavoie. Gives it off to Ilya Valdez. Valdez's pass down to Ava Davis. Gets away. And the turnover goes to the Mustangs. Tough possession loss there with just a minute remaining in this game as Erin Alves will restart matters. She is so fast and so secure with the ball in lacrosse. It's so difficult to get the ball out of her cross, as you see Rowan Buckley chasing her down, trying to check that ball out. But Alves able to obtain the offensive zone, so Antonelli will come down, try to defend her. Alves will hold on to it as Morellis comes to join her. And Morellis is going to be called for the cross check there. 25 seconds remaining as Alves gets the restart. Sheridan Rodriguez now defending along with Antonelli. As Antonelli checks the cross, but Alves just so secure. It's like there's glue inside her netting. Just will not release. As she's bumped out of bounds and went out of bounds willingly there is the call. So the Highlanders will get it with 3 seconds remaining in the game, but they're not going to be able to get 2 goals in that amount of time, and that will do it as the Mustangs come away with the victory, 5-7. Highlanders come up short. Their record will move to 7-4 on the season. The Mustangs remain undefeated. 11-0 are the Mustangs as they are heading towards the MIAA playoffs here in girls lacrosse. The Highlanders still in contention for a playoff spot, have some wins possibly on their schedule as they'll be facing off against Mystic Valley in a home-and-home very, very soon. Those are very winnable games as they have the opportunity to get into the playoffs as well for the 3rd straight season. So that will do it for us today from Dilboy Stadium. Thank you so very much for watching at home as the Mustangs take out the Highlanders by the score of 5-7. Thank you very much, Bill Trudell out there in the rain on camera. Thank you, Joe Constantine on direction. I am Todd Harmon, and you have been watching Somerville Girls Lacrosse on Somerville Ed TV.